Good morning, everybody. Some of you had asked to see some pictures of the house. I'm not ready to show inside yet because I haven't finished emptying my storage unit yet. It's still a mess. There's boxes everywhere. That'll probably be in a month. But I can give you a little bit of the outside. It's a modest house. Very modest. It's a 4-bedroom, but it's built in '88, so it's not a new house. I'm on the front deck right now. I'm not 100% sure I'm filming me properly. I am looking directly into the sun and I can't see. But some of the outside here and living room and then the other master bedroom down there. So that's kind of where it's at. I have my car in the driveway. And then my view across the way is this big ballpark complex over there. So once again, I've still got trees and green in my view. All right, I'm going to move inside. I'm inside now. It's busy now. I'm not doing this first thing in the morning, so there's traffic. We just had some cars go by. I had to wait for them to get by. People have hot rods here, so some of them are a little noisy. That's all right. As you can see, it's a nice small house. I'm happily fixing things up that I see that need to be fixing. I've got a door frame that was busted. I got to fix that. I got to go get a piece of pine to put in there in the gap. I don't know why it wasn't there. I've come to the conclusion that this house had a garage and they turned the garage into what's now the master bedroom. So there is no garage now, but the extra space. I've got a couple of issues I got to look at that have to do with that. There's a nice cool storage underneath it. So I'm going to have to see about getting that cleaned out and I can put some things in there. Things that I don't need right away, but things that are maybe automotive. No gas, none of that kind of stuff. But like the floor jacks and things like that that I need to work on cars with or whatever can go underneath there. All right. As I'm watching everything going on, we've got Tabernacle starting. We've got tomorrow's October 7th. October 7th. That's a bad day in modern Jewish history. What are they going to do to top that? Is Hamas going to actually surrender and give up everything that they fought to have when their goal is still the destruction of Israel? I doubt it. Would they give the hostages back? That's their only bargaining chip. The bargaining chip's only good if you're willing to release some once in a while. And they've dug in and refused to release any of them right now. And they say, well, we'll release some if we can keep negotiating. That's it. Keep kicking the can down the road. We're never going to get you what you want, but then we can regroup, rearm, and then attack again later on. Evil. Pure evil. How much longer is Jesus going to put up with it? Not much. Okay, so God is our Father. We know that from studying the Bible from beginning to end. We have John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave us his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. That tells us who God is and how much he cares about us. Okay, so what are we going to do now that we know God cares about us? We should care about him, for one. It's in the 10 Commandments. Love the Lord your God with all your mind, soul, and spirit. So we know we're commanded to do that, but we should do it willingly. If we're having to show love because we have to, it's not love. So every good thing every good and perfect thing comes from above. So are we doing things good for God because we expect gifts back? Again, wrong motive. The method is there, but not to be abused. And we have the story of the prodigal son, showing how excited God gets when one of his lost sheep come home willingly. Doesn't matter what shape they're in. If they willingly come home, that's worth killing the fatted calf for. So, God knows our needs. He cares about us that much that he already knows what we need and already has everything ready to hand to us when we ask for it. You don't go to him with a need and have him go, oh, well, gee, I never thought about that. I guess I should probably help out in that area. No. It's all ready. So he is our Father, he's our protector, our provider. And he's the father to the fatherless, the earthly fatherless. With God, you're never alone. I just talked about being alone. It is hard when you're alone. We've all been there for periods of time. I have to think about the fact that I am the oldest in my tree. There's nobody older than me in my family tree on either side. I'm the oldest. My parents are gone. Their brothers and sisters are gone. Their grandparents, of course, are gone. My immediate siblings are gone. All I have is nieces and nephews. They're out there. And their family, I care for them and want to make sure that they're saved. But that's it. There's nobody above me. And so far, my children don't look like they're going to have any kids. They're looking at the world and don't see it's a good place to bring anybody up. And they're right to a degree, and I may be the last one before the rapture, so having a continuation doesn't really interest me anyway. Won't have grandkids to play with, but that's okay. I've got enough to do serving God, so God knows I can handle it that way. Now, so how do we help the Father? What can we do to show our love for him? Well, love and obey. There's no other way. Show the love by doing what God commands us to do. Now, I know that there's a gazillion commandments added on, but there's only 10. Just try to keep it down to that. Jesus said if you love God and love your neighbors yourself, you're going to satisfy all the other ones. Well, that's it. Love covers a multitude of sins. Jesus said to show mercy. He showed mercy. He came up to people that he didn't know and healed them. So there are plenty of things that we can do. If we're helping God's children, we're helping God. When Jesus is talking, he says, you helped me or you didn't help me. And they'd say, well, where did we help you? If you fed the poor, you were feeding me. Or if you were unkind to this person, you were being unkind to me. If the way you treat others is basically going on to God, you should be a good representation of God, a good representation of Jesus. Use the time you've got left. You can't fail serving God. You may apparently fail, quote unquote, from the earthly point of view, but if you're serving God, God will use it. We could be planting seeds that we don't even see grow. That's okay. And give thanks constantly when you see something that God has done for you. The chance meeting of somebody you haven't seen for a long time, the raise you get at work that you didn't know you were getting, finding a $20 bill on the ground, nobody around, you ask around and you can't find it, who dropped it? God gives us gifts like that. And live by the Word. The only way to live by the Word is to read the Word. You don't have to read the Bible cover to cover every morning. Pick a spot. There are Bible reading plans out there if you just want to rely on somebody else's work to get you into it. It will have you start in Genesis and read all the way through Revelation in the course of a year. There are others that focus on the Gospels. You can find reading plans out there that will fit your needs. If you don't have time to read, do you drive to work? You can listen to the Bible for 20, 30 minutes on tapes. And you can pick your voice of choice. You can have James Earl Jones read it. One I like, now he's Catholic, regular Catholic, and that's David Suchet. He's the one that played Perot, the most famous one that played the detective Perot. Must use the little gray cells. But he's got a good voice, and he has read the Bible cover to cover, I think, the whole Bible. But there's other people you can get out there to listen to. And a key part of this is to trust God. Trust is a product of faith. If you have faith in God, then you're going to trust He's going to take care of you. We're told we're going to get a new heaven and earth. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I trust Him. I've seen Him in the past, what He's done, and I have no complaints. You know, maybe one. Why do you have to have mosquitoes? Okay. Anyhow, I'm using humor at that point. Just use the time we have left to the best of your ability. I don't think it's long, but I don't know. We've been wrong in the past, and we're still here. I started this ministry 5 years ago. I'm still doing it, and I will do it another 5 if necessary. I enjoy talking about my favorite subject. I think that's all I have here. We're still doing short messages because I'm having to focus on, I can't focus on everything all at the same time. I tell my son all the time, I have a one-track mind. I can't do 2 things at once. So if you're expecting me to do 2, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do 1 very well. I'm a TV addict and I love watching TV and movies. And my favorite TV show is MASH. We just lost Loretta Swett recently. All the other ones are slowly, I think we still got Hawkeye and TJ, but I think that's in Radar, but that's about it. And I've been on the set of MASH. So just standard, typical movie set. I didn't get inside the studio, so I was only on the Century Ranch part of it. So that's where the camp was. Whenever there was exterior shots, they filmed at the ranch. If it was inside of a tent, they filmed in a soundstage. And I didn't get to see that, but I got to see the filming and everything and the campsite as it was set up in Malibu Canyon at the 20th Century Ranch. It's now a state park. They drove Hollywood out of California, brought it here, which was good for me. But David Ogden Stiers played Winchester III. When he first got there, they told him to hurry it up. He was a perfectionist. And they go, we're doing meatball surgery. We're trying to keep these guys alive, get them out of here and let somebody else take care of them in Tokyo or whatever. That was the scenario. But he wanted to take time. And he goes, if you take the time to do what you need to do with this young man, 3 or 4 more might die. You've got to patch them and move them on. Patch them, move them on. War is hell. MASH was an anti-war show, but it was done with such talented writers and humor so that you could stomach it. But it got its message across. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I don't have a problem with it. I loved watching it. MASH actually lasted longer than the Korean War. The TV series about the Korean War lasted longer than the Korean War. Ironic. But David Ogden Stiers, in his role as Winchester, said, I do one thing at a time, I do it very well, and then I move on. Well, I try to do that. The very well bit, it's questionable depending on what I'm doing. All right. God takes time with us. He wants us to help. I remember when my dad wanted me to help paint the house. I was young teenager. After a while, he told me to go away. I was making too big of a mess. The trim was different from the house, and I kept dripping trim paint on the house paint. And he goes, by the time I fix everything you've done wrong, I'm going to be working twice as hard. Just go inside and play or do something. God will let us try, but He's right there and will help us. So if you spill a little, if you're trying, it's okay. Till we meet in the clouds, God bless.